What's up, guys? My name is Diego Alexis Alonso. My channel is specifically geared towards fitness, spirituality, and mindset. I'm trying to build a community of men who want to dominate their body, who want to have a deeper sense of faith, spiritually, and then also mindset. So if that sounds like you, subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss the content I'm going to be posting, right? So today I want to talk about overcoming temptations, overcoming um, um, vices, right? So the issue with a lot of men who are in the midst of overcoming a certain vice that they have, whether it be weed, porn, alcohol, drugs, is that there's a mindset that they often fall into that I am encouraging you to look out for and to actually change. And that mindset is the mindset that or a belief that or a desire to want to get to a point where not only do you not do the thing that's causing you pain, masturbation, porn, alcohol, all these kinds of things. Not only do you want to stop doing that completely, but then also stop having the temptation to want to succumb into those vices. So the issue of having this kind of desire and this belief that will at some point hopefully get to that point where we stop doing the vice completely and also stop having the temptation is that the issue with that is that when we do fall into those vices and those temptations, we can oftentimes that leads us to despair, loss of hope, lack of motivation, low self-esteem, and just like, man, like, am I ever going to overcome this vice? And that the thing I want to get across to you is that we will always have that temptation as long as we live. As humans, we are fallen. And because we are fallen, we will always have the temptation to face throughout our life. If you are somebody who's struggling with pornography right now, well, you will probably always struggle with the temptation of lust. You will always struggle with lust, right? Until the day you die. What changes is the frequency in which you have in which you actually succumb to the vice, and then also the frequency in which you have the temptation. What I mean by this is, let's just say that you went from watching pornography every single day to maybe once every month, right? Realistically, you probably had the temptation to succumb into pornography throughout the month, maybe around 4 6 times around there. Now, on the sixth time, you fell into the vice, and but those 5 other times you had the temptation, but you didn't fall into it, right? So in total, you had 6 temptations. Whereas before, when you were watching porn every single day, it was nearly every single day that you had a temptation. Maybe you're somebody who struggled with alcohol, right? Went from every single day drinking alcohol to maybe it was once a year. Well, then maybe you had maybe 10 to maybe 15 times that you had a temptation to want to drink throughout the year, and then on the 10th time you uh you succumb to the temptation, and so those 9 other times you were good, you overcame the temptation, but then the 10th time you fell, unfortunately. But as you can see, like, you go from like having the temptation, the frequency in which you have the temptation is like more frequently, but then the longer that you do not succumb into the vice, the less frequent you have those temptations. And so I want you to stop thinking that at some point you will completely overcome this vice and you will no longer have the temptation, because that's ultimately not a reality, and that's setting you up to 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 be more depressed and have low self-esteem, because ultimately that's not realistic. What's realistic is that you will always have a temptation. It's just a matter of the thing that will change, though, is the frequency in which you had a temptation, right? um And so another thing that I want you to understand is to look at your temptations as your training partners. Because when you look at your temptations as training partners, you recognize that this vice, this temptation to succumb into vices is what allows you to build virtue and build character, right? Like, think of it as like MMA or jiu-jitsu, right? So in order for you to get good at jiu-jitsu, you need a training partner. If you don't have a training partner, you're not going to get good, right? And the reason why you need a training partner to get you to be a really good jiu-jitsu practitioner is because you need somebody to give you resistance. So just as like you go to the gym and you push weight to grow a bigger chest, well, you need resistance in order for you to build character and build virtue. And the temptations, that's the weight that you're pushing. That's the resistance. That's your training partner. And so rather than seeing the temptations as a negative thing, see them as an opportunity for you to become that version of yourself that you know that your wife needs you to be, that you know that your kids need you to be, that you know that your job needs you to be, the friend that your friends, the person that your friends need you to be. You know what I'm saying? The temptations is the opportunity for you to become more like that guy, right? So ultimately, we will never get to a point where we will never have these temptations ever to sin again. But instead, we can get to a point where we fall into those sins less frequently, and the temptation to sin decreases as we fall into the sin less and less and less and less, right? So I hope that helped you. If it did, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're a guy who really who is really on the path of getting the body stronger, you want to develop a stronger mindset, and you want to develop a stronger connection with God. Okay? God bless you.